thank you for tuning in again one more time for another stewardship conversation. You know, one of the hard realities of the COVID-19 period is the fact that some companies have had to lay off some of their employees. Today, the economy is even more unstable than a year ago. With this in mind, I want to talk with you today about a matter that I believe can truly help you become that employee that your boss would love to have around for a long, long time. And so I want to invite you to go with me on this journey. I want to warn you, though, that my suggestion today is not a novel one. It is a simple idea, but it is a proven fact. So if you want to keep the job that you have or get the job that you desire, I want to make a simple, practical suggestion. And my suggestion today is to be punctual. Yes, punctuality is the behavior and the lifestyle of a dynamic steward. So for the rest of the conversation, I want to talk about punctuality. And I want to share with you a few benefits as to how punctuality can work for you on the path of career success. So number one, being punctual strengthens and reveals your integrity. Look at it. If you tell someone that you will meet them at a certain time, you have essentially made a promise to that person. If you said that you will be there for 8 a.m. and then you arrive at 8:15, you have essentially broken that promise. So being on time shows others that you are a man, a woman of your word. Your reputation is critical in job success. Number two, being punctual shows that you are a dependable person. People know that they can depend on you. If you find yourself at your workstation early, carrying out your duties at the beginning of the day, your boss comes around, he or she will be pleased. You are going to give the impression that you are a serious person. But if you are late, your associates themselves will begin to look at you with suspicion. They will think that you are a person not organized. Doubts will begin to creep into their minds. They may not tell you, but they will be of the opinion that if you can't manage time, what else can't you manage? People are always looking at us at the workplace. Number three, being punctual will build your self-confidence. It teaches you that you can depend upon you. And so the more you keep the promises you make, the more your confidence will grow. Number four, being punctual assures that you are at your best. Now, it is hard to focus on your presentation or to begin your task if you're late. The people are seated, they're waiting on you. You come in late, you're all sweaty, you're panicky, you have no time to settle down and to review your notes. It gives a bad impression. On the other hand, if you are on time, you have the time to put your notes together, put your equipment together, to put on your game face. Tells your listeners, here is a person of credibility. Number five, punctuality shows that you are a humble person. Have you ever seen the bumper sticker that says, always late, but worth the wait? It is a sad commentary of this overestimation that some people have of themselves. It is an inflated self-opinion. They can walk in anytime, people wait for them, and they are so big and so important that people just have to wait. So now that we have looked at some benefits, let's look at some practical negative things that will actually happen if you're late. The lack of punctuality is really a mistreatment of other people. Yes, if you tell someone you're going to meet them at a certain time and show up late, you have actually stolen the person's time. The lack of punctuality is also a sign of disrespect. It is a violation of the golden rule. Matthew 7:12 says, "Do unto others as you want them to do to you." The lack of punctuality also will cause you to miss opportunities, miss that promotion on your job, get a salary increase, become a big manager on your job. If you are not on time, people will not see you as being serious. The lack of punctuality is also a violation of the greatest commandment. Luke 10:27 says, "Love the Lord with all your heart and with all your soul, and your neighbor as yourself." You know, as we go through this period of COVID-19, you're realizing that the restrictions are being lifted. Opportunities are being given to us to go back to church, into the physical church. The doors are being opened. I want to remind you that as you go back to church, that the hour and the place of prayer are sacred. Why? Because God is there. So let's reverence God when we go back to the physical church by being on time. Finally, I want to ask the question, how does one spend his time on the Sabbath? I'm going to borrow from Ellen G. White some practical statements that will help us. She says, and I quote, "None should feel at liberty to spend sanctified time in an unprofitable manner. It displeases God when Sabbath keepers spend their time sleeping during much of the Sabbath." Notice she says much of the Sabbath. She didn't say you couldn't sleep, but spending much of the time sleeping. They dishonor their Creator, she says, in doing so. By their example, they say that the 6 days are too precious for them to spend resting. They must make money, although it be by robbing themselves of needed sleep, which they make up by sleeping away holy time. Some of you know what I'm talking about. Then she continues by saying, they excuse themselves by saying, the Sabbath was given for a day of rest. I will not deprive myself of rest to attend a meeting, for I need rest. Such, she says, make wrong use of the sanctified day. They should upon that day especially interest the family in its observance and assemble at the house of prayer with few or many, as the cause, or the case rather, may be. She continues by saying, they should devote their time and energies to spiritual exercises, that the divine influence resting upon the Sabbath may attend them during the new week. These quotations were taken from Counsels for the Church, page 270. And so, friends of mine, as we wrap up today, I want to invite you to consider taking time and time management seriously. The employees or employers of today want more than academic papers. They want more than your skills with your hands. They want you to be more than a fluent person. They want you to be a person who is strong on your soft skills, a person who is solidly committed, a person who shows up on time to the job. And if the employees of the day demand so much of us, what about God? When it is time to come together for corporate worship, I want to invite you to honor God by being on time. Well, may God continue to help you as you navigate these difficult times, and may you experience great career success by your time management. God bless you.